For our first major project this year, we're going to be creating a surrealist style pen and ink drawing on our tracing paper using at least 5 found resource pictures. I'm going to be showing you some really cool techniques for how to take multiple found resource pictures and combine them together in one cohesive drawing. So this should be a really fun project, and today we're going to be finding some resource pictures in our magazines. I've just got some house decorating magazines. I have an old vintage National Geographic that somebody gave me, and then I have borrowed from my husband just a couple of his bird watching magazines as well. So this is going to give me a good variety of stuff to look through. The more magazines you have, the greater variety that you have, the more probably more interesting sorts of pictures you're going to find. So what I want you to do is start, and you're just going to flip through and look for interesting images, interesting patterns, anything that really strikes you as something that would look cool in this project. Now, like I could have like a close-up of that cat. I don't know, that might come in handy. If you see a picture that you like, you're going to tear just that whole page out of that magazine and set it off to the side. And we're going to look for as many interesting images as we can. I like to make sure I look for clear images where I can easily see what they are. I really like that radial pattern. I don't know what I could use that for, but that's really interesting. So maybe I'll tear that page out too. And then you're just going to keep flipping. So now I've already flipped through this magazine and pulled out a few other pages that I already like. So I'm going to set that down and grab another one. I'm going to grab a bird watching magazine. There are tons of great pictures in here. Oh, I love that. That's gorgeous. That one might be a really good one. Now, I will say, since I am using one of my husband's magazines that he probably wants to keep, and probably doesn't necessarily want me ripping pages out of it, I'm going to show you a trick that you can do if you find pictures like that you want to use. Oh, I love that hummingbird. Okay, that's gorgeous. I love that it's sort of a silhouette too. Okay, so if I like that picture, I can just take a sticky note, and since I don't want to damage this magazine, I'm just going to put a sticky note on it. That way I remember it for later. And then I'll just keep flipping through. Ooh, I love the owl too. And I like to look for images where I can see the whole thing. Whereas like this picture right here, it's, you know, it's cut off with this odd shape where the owl is sort of peeking out from inside of that shape. And that would make it, I think, really hard for me to find a good way to incorporate a picture like that. But I think a picture like this, where I can see the whole owl in flight, that would be a pretty cool picture for me to use. So I'm just going to flip through. Now, the more pictures you find, the better. And I'm looking for images that are really clear and ones that I can see really well, because I want to be able to trace from them easily. Now, I have flipped through all of my magazines, and I've already found a good collection of pictures that I want to show you. And there's something I just loved about this little boy coloring on the carpet. I like that I could see pretty much all of them. I didn't know what I would use it for, but I liked that picture. I love the sort of like gracefulness and the kind of flowiness of this singer and the different views of her. I thought maybe I could use something like that. So people are fine to look for. This Toyota advertisement, I really liked the mountains and the city and this cool bridge in the background. I thought that might be really cool to add into a picture. This image, I just liked the pattern on this fabric. I thought maybe I could do something if I needed floral kind of intricate combinations of patterns. I also like this picture too. where I like these like little branches with all of the leaves and the tree branches sort of coming down. I like how it was coming down from the corner too. I might be able to put something like that in my picture where I have trees coming in from a corner. This is a grill advertisement page that I found, and I love the fact that it's got these like little birds flying up here in the sky. That could be neat to add into a picture. And I don't love the fact that they're in a heart shape, but there's enough of them that I could maybe create what looks like birds flying way off in the distance. That's pretty neat. And this picture I tore out of that old vintage National Geographic magazine. This magazine is like older than I am. It's from 1986, but it had some like really cool stuff from like England, and the architecture I thought was really, really neat in that magazine. So I tore that page out because this was the most clear and easy one to see, but I love the archway, the fancy door frame going there, so I might be able to incorporate that into my piece as well. And then just flipping through, I really loved this advertisement for this chair. It was very fancy, very kind of curvy, and just a really nice clear-cut image. Okay, so once you have gone through your magazines and you've pulled as many pictures as you would like, as many pages that have interesting pictures, you're going to then photograph each one of them to turn in for your assignment today. Now, at this point, you do not have to have any idea how you're planning on using those pictures. We're going to talk about that later, so don't even worry about that part yet. Right now, all we're worried about is making sure that we have found some interesting pictures and a good variety of different kinds of pictures. I've tried to find photographs of people, of objects, of animals, of landscapes, of pieces of architecture, of patterns, a good variety of different sorts of things, because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So the better variety you have, the easier the creative part later is going to be when it comes time for you to figure out how to use them once I show you how. So what I'd like for you to do today is go into your phone on the camera feature. You're going to take each magazine page one at a time and hold your camera directly above it. Now, I like to have really good lighting, so I have light coming in from the left and light coming in from the right. I've got 2 different lamps on, and I have all of the windows open in this room, so that way my pictures will hopefully turn out pretty good. And then, instead of holding your camera way back at the distance, I want you to zoom in and get a nice cropped view of the picture where you can see the whole page, but the edges of the page line up with the edges of the frame of your camera. And just holding it right above so everything's nice and square, I want you to take a picture. And then you're going to move that one off to the side and grab the next. And you're going to do that with each one. Now, if you have a picture like mine where I had some in a magazine from my husband's that I didn't want to tear out and destroy, you can also just take a picture straight from that magazine. Like this was another good bird image that I really liked. So it's in the whole magazine. I'm just going to open it up, frame it in the whole page, and take a picture. Now, once you get your pictures taken, the next thing that I want you to do is go into Google Classroom. And I think the easiest way to do that is to do that through an app on your phone. And I'm going to show you how to upload it directly to your phone. If you haven't tried this yet, it's a really easy trick. So I'm going to go into just a random class that I'm a student in so you can see it from the student perspective. And you will move and select the appropriate assignment for today. I'm just going to pick a random one. And then down here at the bottom of the page, you'll say that it says your work. I'm going to add an attachment. And then you can select pick a photo, and you can upload and select each photo. Now, I do want to ask, please, please don't put all of your photos into a Google slideshow presentation or put them in a Google Doc, because that takes so much longer for it to load and so much longer for me to grade. Instead, I want you to just upload the raw photograph. Don't put it in a document, don't put it in a slideshow, just each individual file. And there's actually even a camera feature within the app on Google Classroom where it should let you take a picture if you have those settings turned on. Now, once you've added all of your attachments, I'll select one. It's going to load that picture, and then you can load the next and the next and the next. You may end up with a whole bunch of pictures that you turn in for today, and that is fine. So turn in all of the photos of anything that you found interesting in your magazines, and then for our next class period, we're going to learn how we are going to start incorporating those together. I have some very cool tricks that we're going to experiment with. We're going to experiment with juxtaposing pictures, overlapping pictures, replicating or multiplying pictures, changing the scale of objects in the scene. We've got some really cool stuff in store, and we're going to learn about all that next week.